How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing some boom options. There's several types of booms here. Actually, today I'm reviewing the Impact LSA-BAS boom. This is actually happened to be my favorite boom from all of these options here, and I'm going to be showing you guys every single option, a little bit of everything here. So today I'm going to be focusing on this boom right here. I would definitely assume that most of you guys use C-stands, which allows you to load the heavy lights all the way across this 40-inch extension pole here, and with the appropriate weights that you put to counterbalance and everything. So I need a little bit more reach and also to lift a heavier load. So all these options here, some of these booms will work just fine, but I'm gonna tell you why this boom is actually my favorite. You can see how super strong and actually heavy this thing is. As a matter of fact, the heavier the better, which means when you extend this full length, it's not gonna warp or want to bend or anything like that. I've been doing this stuff for over 25 years. One thing that I learned very quickly is there's always somebody better than us, more creative than us, who also know a thing or two that we don't know yet. I would hope that maybe one little thing today you can actually learn from me, hopefully. A better way or an easier way to work your boom. So I have all these booms laying around here. They vary in size, price, weight, and everything. So I'm going to be showing you guys a few seconds what this can do. This one, this one, this one. But the main focus of the video today is going to be based on this particular boom here. What this thing can do is pretty much everything that I wanted that almost none of these booms can do. Maybe the C-stand can get pretty close. If that's all you want to do is to install a little light like this or something like that, you know, all these booms here will solve the problem for you. But if you have a situation that you need a heavier light somehow as far as possible from the stand, this is the thing to get, because this is actually C-stand quality, because the only thing that I can trust so far before I got this is actually a C-stand, because the way the design should carry heavy things. But it's limited to the 40-inch reach on the arm here, and this boom can actually give me the extra reach. So it has a hook right here for you to put some sandbags here, and all you gotta do is load this on any stand that you can find. So I'm gonna save the best for last. I'm just gonna be showing you very quickly each one of these booms here. So this boom here is great. It's made of aluminum, and if you wanna load something like this here, one of those GVM builder lights or one of those little aperture portable lights, this is fine. Put a little weight there. You're gonna notice that this pipe is gonna want to start to warp, and who knows what's gonna happen if you actually try to force this boom to lift something that it can't do. This boom here has my favorite type of system, which is a big ratchet knob, which you can actually control up and down and lock it down very easily. This boom has the same thing, but again, this boom can't even come close to the load that I want to put in this boom here. So okay, you will loosen this and then you can go up and down, which is great. And this boom right here is the typical Amazon boom, like 25 bucks, which you can actually easily load something like this, maybe something like that if your balance is right. But this whole thing is made of plastic right here. This is actually aluminum, but everything here is plastic, which is a joke. It's practical to hold a little portable little LED lights, and it goes up and down. And this boom here will start to get into the higher end on the heavy stuff, but this is made of aluminum, and the same problem that I see, if you fully extend this, because the aluminum is very, very hollow, this will also want to warp a little. So it does the job, but what I hate about this type of systems here is this, because you're familiar with those things that you have to kind of I hate this type of setup here so much because it's so dangerous, and every time you want to adjust the boom fully loaded, this thing will most likely collapse down if you don't watch out. So you gotta put the washer in the mouth to get it out of here. It's one of those things, you guys are familiar with this, right? That you have to put the thing here and then match the holes and then put the washer back here. And when you're done, you gotta have one person holding this here probably, and then raise it up, and sometimes this thing is gonna slide down. So this is a great boom, but I absolutely hate the setup here. And finally, there's a C-stand, which is the stuff that I use most of my projects, because you can pretty much load anything you want in here. And then this thing is as solid as a rock. You can put the light all the way there and put the necessary counterweights right here. But this has a 40-inch arm reach. Most C-stands, they come with that kind of size, of which is limited to 40 inches. So I need a little bit extra reach, and this is when this comes in hand. As a matter of fact, both of these are Impact. I'm sure most of you guys have a bunch of Impact products whether it is a reflector or a C-stand or a battery charge or whatever that is, because Impact, in my opinion, makes excellent products and the price is always affordable. This stand over here, for example, I reviewed it a couple months ago, I think, compared to a Matthews or a Avenger, and it's pretty much the same performance for a lot less money. So if you're looking for a C-stand that doesn't cost 200 bucks, you might want to see my review on my channel. You gotta browse through the videos. You're gonna see also the review of the stand here, and also of course a tutorial how to use the whole thing and beyond. Now it's time to review this boom here. Let me take this out of the way. When it comes to shopping for things like this, I'm not sure until I receive the boom here and put my hands on it to see if this thing is gonna do what I want. I'm sure you guys do the same, because when I'm shopping for things like this, I spend hours looking at several brands, comparing prices and durability and how good the thing is, and reading the specifications, the many reviews there are on B&H, especially this boom. There's a bunch of reviews in there already. But until I actually put my hands on it, because I was looking for a YouTube video with this very boom, which is the LSA-BAS, there's nothing on YouTube. Yes, I'd like to review this boom. So they sent this to me here. Now I have the chance to show you guys on video everything that this boom can do. Actually, there is not one thing this boom cannot do. That's the big point of the whole thing here that I want to make a video for. So you can actually trust your $5,000, $7,000 hour Sky panel here, whatever it is they want to load in here. So once you have this thing set up properly, you can actually set it and walk away. This is not going anywhere. So when you receive this boom, it's going to come with the boom itself. The sandbag is not included. They picture the sandbag there, but when you go to the specifications and see what's in the box, it clearly shows there's a 1-year limited warranty with this boom and the boom itself. If you need to buy sandbags, there will be a separate purchase. And also there's no case for this boom. I was trying to find an impact bag that measures about 49, 50 inches. The only thing that I could come across is a Gator case. Is a non-padded bag, but it does the job, especially if you save the packing materials, the white foam. You can actually put this boom there and carry very safely, plus the C-stand, everything together with this boom. So what made me really want to check out and want this boom so bad, first of all, is the system here, and also how heavy duty the thing is. So if you have a C-stand or any other stand, as long as you have a 5/8 receptacle here, you can simply drop it down, tighten it down, and do your adjustments. Instead of the system here, of course, there's some heavy duty booms that come with this, but I actually hate the system. You have to fumble around with a washer and find the right size hole here and everything. So this entire boom here from end to end is made of 100% steel, even these knobs right here. The black part is just a convenient cover that they put in here, which makes it nice to work on the cold days in the winter, but this actual knob is all metal. They just insert this little cover here, which makes it more comfortable to operate the boom. This boom also features 3 very thick O-rings, one on the top here, another one here, and another one there. So when you actually drop this abruptly, you have a very satisfying feel of the whole thing falling, but it's not metal against metal. And to tighten this down, just a little turn will do. You don't need to over-tighten anything, including this here. Another thing that I like about this boom is those grip designs here. So when you actually tighten this, it's gonna grab on those little grooves right here. So it really locks it down. And again, you don't need to over tighten anything. And also you can mount this boom on any stand. So now is the part I'm gonna be showing you guys how this thing performs. And by the way, I'm not gonna actually be using a C-stand because C-stand is super strong. Everybody knows that. What I'm gonna be demonstrating this boom with is an actual regular stand, which is not a C-stand. This is just a regular aluminum B&H stand. So I'm gonna put this away. Maybe, hopefully, my tutorial here will even show you guys maybe 1 or 2 little things that will help you guys to even get some other ideas to operate the boom faster or more safe. So I'm gonna be putting the boom right here. So obviously the first thing you wanna do is to make sure you will face this boom in the direction it's going, to where the leg is sitting right here, so the thing doesn't tilt that way or fall, right? Now the crucial part of the boom is to properly balance the boom the same way you balance a crane, your gimbal, and this is no exception. So the first thing you want to do is to balance the boom properly. What I mean by balancing is because, as a matter of fact, I was on the set last week. Somebody in New Jersey hired me to provide lighting for them, to help add some lighting on the scene. And when I got there, the lighting guy had a boom and everything else with a Aperture 300D right here or something like that. And I noticed that the boom was like, you know, not properly balanced. There was a lot of sandbags around the C-stand, and the stuff was super tight and everything, but I could tell the boom was not properly balanced, because it is crucial. The first thing that you want to do, I don't care what you're putting here or there. So for a few seconds here, let's just talk about safety and also the limitations of this particular boom. It says here on the specifications that the maximum load capacity is 8 pounds or 3.6 kilograms with the boom fully extended. So I'm going to be using the Generate Powerhouse. The Generate Powerhouse weighs exactly 7.75 pounds or 3.52 kilograms, including the yoke, which is pretty much a half a pound or so shy than the maximum limit of this boom fully extended. So this is actually the perfect item to show you with the boom fully extended. So the number one principle here regarding C-stands and heavy booms like this, a C-stand should only extend fully as far as it will go if you absolutely need. If you can actually keep that C-stand as compact as possible, good. Same thing with this. So with the boom without being fully extended, the first thing you want to do is to find the center of gravity, preparing the boom for the load. So make sure everything is loose here. Here's the center of gravity, lock it down. You don't need to over tighten anything, and this also moves in any position that you want, which is great. Or you can press it here, or you can just yank it out, either way you prefer. On the front here, just like you set up a crane, especially if you're putting something really heavy here, you can put a stool, you can actually lower the stand or find something to hold the light here, or you can just have an assistant to hold the whole thing for you. And if you are by yourself, you can also do this without any help whatsoever. Sandbags, I should remind you guys that this boom does not come included with the sandbag. It shows in the picture, but again, when you look at the specifications, it only comes with the boom and a 1-year warranty, but does not come with the sandbag. As a matter of fact, if I may suggest, instead of putting sand here, which can be a mess, especially if this thing gets punctured, or those aquarium fish tank little rocks here, which also cause the bag to unnecessarily bulge, I think the cleanest setup there is, I use gym weights. Those little discs, they're rather thin and heavy enough. So all you gotta do is drop them as needed. I'm gonna start with 5 pounds. I'm gonna put the weight here on the back. Make sure this hook here is facing up. It's that simple. There are two ways to do this. You can actually have the boom fully vertical, mount the light this way and lock it down. The other approach is to mount the light right here. You can actually do this, which relieves the gravity force. Make sure everything's tight. Go grab your weights. I'm gonna start with 10 pounds. Put this on the hook here. Loosen the thing. Now you wanna find the center of gravity. And there you go. Then all you gotta do is tighten everything. Don't forget to tighten this, because if you raise or lower the thing, this thing is gonna slam that way, right? So make sure everything's tight, and make sure you're still on the center of gravity here. So when you have everything tight, with the boom in this position, you can actually work with your pinky if you want. So everything moves very easily. So there's no stress in the center column here. So the only force there is here is downwards, all the way to the stand. So make sure everything in the stand here itself is locked, the leg, everything is locked. Again, if you want a big boom like this, you're dealing with dangerous things such as heavy weights and front and back. So when you carry this stuff around, everything becomes dangerous. When you put a portable light, everything is super easy to move. Now let me show you something interesting. Let's say they want to change the position of the light just a little bit. Look what happens. It's getting front heavy, see that? The point of the whole thing here, you don't want any stress whatsoever. Even though this could handle, even without weights, I'm gonna actually remove the weight, okay? This will hold it, okay? But you don't want stress here. There you go, perfect. Tighten it down, make sure everything is tight, and then you can actually move the boom any way you want. Let's say there's a situation that the boom is this way and it needs more weight, and you don't have enough weight or rocks or stones or gym weights to put in the bag. So all you have to do is to retract the main pole backwards, and then it needs less weight. The further that you move in this direction, the more weight you're gonna need over there. So now I'm going to be showing the full capability of this boom, especially if you put a softbox here, you're going to be maxing out the limit of this boom. So the back of the boom here, it comes with a steel hook, which you can actually put some significant amount of weight, 25 pounds, something like that. And you don't need more than 25 pounds because the maximum weight in the front here is about 8 pounds or 3.5, 3.6 kilograms. So one bag should do. If you need two bags, you can actually put another one here, which has room to take two bags if you want, in case you extend this boom fully that way. And you can also use this part here to put one more bag here, put a clamp here, so you don't over stress the hook. But this thing is steel, this thing will take a big load, just in case you're doing something crazy with the boom. Also important, never exceed 20-25 pounds of weight per bag on any setup that you're doing. I'm gonna be fully extending this here with the Generate Powerhouse. With the softbox, it actually goes over the limit by 1 or 2 ounces. So this is the perfect setup here. So I'm gonna extend this all the way. So when you are halfway, it's still easy to retract, but don't forget that gravity is pulling down here. So it can be a little bit difficult when you are all the way here if you want to retract the boom. So all you gotta do is use this hand, push it down while this one lifts up, which makes the pipe lose contact with the bottom here. So it makes it very easy to move back and forth. Instead of like try to fight the boom this way or try to turn it, just push it down here and lift this up, and then you can do this all day. Tip number 2, I am fully extended this way. Never do that because you need a little bit of the tube going back to improve its rigidity. Because right now I only have 1 inch of the tube here inside, which makes the tube very vulnerable. This also applies to a C-stand or stand when you're actually rising the stand. Never reach its full height, always drop down a couple inches on each tube section, which is gonna make the tube more sturdy, because when it is maxed out, all you have is the little 1 inch inside the tube, which is gonna cause the stand to want to bend or warp a little bit. So always drop down a couple inches on each section of the stand or each section of the boom. So what I'm gonna be doing right now, I'm gonna lose a couple inches here. And that makes this tube very strong. This is more vulnerable. I wanna have a couple inches back there. And there you go. Another option here, especially if you're by yourself, the best method is to have this fully vertical. You mount your light upright, observing the flat side of the spin here. Make sure the screw hits that area so the light doesn't turn. Then leave it like this. You can safely install your bags here, and then you want to loosen this. Make sure the hook is grabbing the bag good. Then you raise it, and then loosen this main part of the boom here. You're looking for the center of gravity. There you go. Lock it down. Lock this down. Position your light. Then install your softbox, whatever it is that you want to put in here. Check the gravity, the center of gravity again. And of course you can do a 360 move over here. Now keep in mind, with this boom fully retracted, this is already a lot of weight to raise it up. So you need a pretty good stand that's actually capable of lifting this load in case you need to rise the stand. And this is a B&H impact stand, which is definitely doing the job. So next, everything is the same weight that I have in the back there. I'm gonna be fully extending this boom, and this has a maximum payload of 8 pounds maxed out to the end of the boom. And of course, it's gonna be very front heavy. In my case here, I'm gonna use the keyboard to rest it a little bit, or you can have an assistant hold the boom for you. So I only have 10 more pounds over here, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna do much for the boom. The one solution, if you're out of weights, all you have to do is retract the main pole right here until it reaches again the center of gravity, which is about here. Then you lock it down. If you wanna change the position of the boom, unlock this again. Everything is very easy to control. You can stop right here and lock it down again, or the same way if you want to go down. Another thing that I will never recommend you to do is to have this part of the boom here very close to the center, because laws of physics, it doesn't let you do that. This is going to be a very dangerous setup. So ideally, always leave at least 3 feet standing out from the back here. But if you absolutely have to obtain the maximum reach of this boom, you can actually go ahead. I'll give you one more foot of space here, and this is it. This is the limit. So now the boom is ridiculously far away from the stand. This is plenty of reach. Since I ran out of discs here, and at the same time I don't want to overload this hook with like 50 pounds of weight, I'm going to limit this to 25 because I feel it's the safe amount of weight for this. So if you need more weight or put some other things here, I would recommend that you start actually loading the actual boom pole and install a clamp here, but don't overload this hook because it's just common sense. Because this is actually a very heavy front load setup here. So let me unlock this and see what I'm at. Lucky me, look at this. This is actually perfect. So right now I don't have any clamps here. I'm just going to show you real quick how the boom looks fully extended. So you have to install some clamps here, otherwise this whole thing is going to slide. Actually the Generate radius is going to slide right out. So the whole point that I'm showing here again is how sturdy, how strong this tube is here. As you can see, it's not warping, it's not bending, it's just straight like there was no load here. So there you go. You have a massive setup here and very safe, very sturdy. And this whole thing is very high quality, and as you can see here, this whole thing is straight. So with this much weight in the front and the back, if you try to lift this thing, this is gonna be not recommended, and I don't even think I can lift this. There's no way. So just like a jib, keep this stand, and better be a high quality stand, keep this thing as compact as possible. And if you wanna raise that light, it's very simple. All you have to do is unlock this thing here, and the light can go as high as you want, but do not try to lift this thing with this type of load here. This is incredibly heavy, so this can go as high as you want, especially a boom this large here. This can go like 10, 12 feet in the air, probably. And then when you have your desired position, just lock it down, and again, you have the center of gravity here. Everything is easily maneuverable, because there's no stress anywhere. The only stress is at the front and back of the boom, but the actual center column, there's no stress whatsoever. Then when you achieve your position here, just lock it down, and there you go. Now to collapse this whole thing, I can start from here, and again, push this down, raise this up, and there you go. This comes right back here. Hold it like this, lock it down. Then from over here, you're gonna lift this up. I'm gonna remove everything, the radiance, everything very safely. And there you go. And then you can actually finish retracting this part here. And then again, you wanna put this whole thing in the vertical position, just like a regular stand. And then you can remove your softbox, remove the light. And there you go, there are no accidents, no dangers, everything done the proper way. So even if you have a different approach, just make sure you stick to these basic rules here so you have a safe setup and nothing wrong will happen either with the boom or with the light crashing on the ground or hurting anybody else. Alright, I just showed you guys this whole thing fully extended to the maximum payload capacity in the front of this boom. Now if you want to see something really heavy, check this out. I got some for you guys. This is the Generate Twin Sun panel. This thing weighs 22 pounds. This thing is absolutely a behemoth. This is not the kind of thing that I would recommend on a boom, but I'm just showing just for the heck of it. So first you want to load this thing vertically as always. Now this is the part that you need two people, but I'm going to attempt to do this by myself. Now we're going to be looking for the center of gravity again. Now you have your panel here, which you can easily again control with your pinky up and down, which leaves a decent distance from the stand in case you need the stand out of the shot. Now if you need to extend this further, all you have to do is add more weight. Remember, don't put stress on this. Unlock it. Let the panel turn if you want to. There you go. Fix the thing. Center of gravity achieved. Now the panel is plenty far away from the stand. And again, do not attempt to raise the stand with this ridiculous load here. So if you want the boom higher, all you have to do is make sure this is all clamped down here, and you can actually raise as high as you want or as low as you want. You can also pivot the panel this way, that way, whatever it is they want to do. You can open the barn doors. Keep in mind, if you start tilting this panel, you're also going to be affecting the center of gravity, so you have to eventually come here and do a 1/2 inch adjustment left and right, stuff like that. Now I'm going to hold it over here. I'm just going to show you guys the smaller tube, how much stress it can handle with a panel this heavy. I'm going to be holding this here. Take a look at this. It doesn't bend, doesn't warp. I'm going to go further. That should be more than enough. This thing is absolutely straight, and this is the little tube right here. And again, to retract everything, push it down here, raise this up. This comes back to you very easily. So I would still keep this loose because I don't want to damage my grips over here. Hold the thing very firmly. I want to remove this bag first, the lightest one first. Then I'm going to be removing the Generate Radiance bag. Now it gets pretty heavy, but it's manageable. And then leave this bag here. You want to retract it this way. Hold the pole like this. And then go back to the default position, which is vertical. Lock it down, remove the bag. Now this whole thing is free. Bring it back to full vertical position. Remove the panel, and you are done. So that should conclude my review with the Impact LSA-BAS boom. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to this channel. And also, to help me out, please give me a thumbs up, which tells me that I'm doing a good job here. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or whatever it is they want to do or comment, please drop them down in the comment section. I make sure I respond to everything that I see. And once again, thank you so much for visiting my channel, and I'll see you next time.